recently I needed a little daikon for a recipe. Well, it's kind of interesting. You kind of can't buy a little daikon. You got to buy the whole root. And so I needed a little, and I needed to do something else with what was left of it. I said to myself, well, what are you going to do? And I thought, well, why not combine it with potatoes? So I decided I was going to go ahead and do that. And what I have here is I have a Yukon Gold potato that I just cut up into a large dice. I'm going to put that in heavily salted water here. And now I'm going to cut up the daikon. I'm going to do the same thing. And, 50-50 is kind of by volume what I would go for, but you don't want to obsess over that. You have what you have. You have a big type potato, you got a hunk of daikon. If it's 60-40, so what? It's no big deal. So you put that in, you're going to bring this to a boil and cook it until the potato is done. Don't worry about the daikon. On the liquid side, what's interesting about this particular concoction is that because the daikon retains water, I don't need cream or milk because that's going to actually, the daikon itself is going to smooth this whole thing out. All right, so I'm going to use just butter, and I'm going to put some garlic cloves. I just smashed a couple garlic cloves in here. I'm going to saute these garlic cloves in butter, and then I'm going to throw them out. But I have extra butter along because when I mix it up, I said, okay, if I want to make extra butter, I'll add a little extra butter to it. So this is going to get started, and then when the potatoes are done, we'll come back. Okay, so the potatoes are cooked, and that basically means is they're soft in the center, right? They're not, you don't have any hard starchy stuff left in there.
They're manageable.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them back in the pot here, and I'm gonna start mashing them up. All right, the potatoes on the daikon, I'm gonna mash them up. All right, now get that down there, and I'm gonna add the butter now. All right, and not the garlic, just the butter. So we'll do that. And then you go back to mashing it. Okay. And once I get it to that point, I'm going to use a whisk on it. I just want to do this. Now this is the point where you decide, oh, is it too thick? Does it need more butter? And it is.
Yeah, it needs more butter.
So we'll get some more butter. And you just cut a couple hunks of butter and you just kind of put it in there. And you just do it, and you do it until you get that nice sort of consistency, that's kind of like a light and everything like that. Now, the idea here, because it's got the daikon in it, really is that it's going to be light, but it's still going to be comforting. And the Yukon Gold potatoes, they just kind of bring that. In fact, they're sometimes called butter potatoes, aren't they? When you buy them in the store, sometimes they're referred to as butter potatoes. They have that nice buttery kind of a feel to them, buttery mash feel. Now the daikon, what that does is that it keeps it a little bit loose and clean, so I don't really need the milk or the cream for this. So now I've got this really kind of where I want it. So the butter, adding the butter and the garlic, and that's where the flavor comes from the butter that had the garlic in it.
Right.
Okay, so the fact that I'm adding additional butter isn't going to defeat that. Of course, it needs pepper. So we're going to put a bunch of pepper in here. I like a lot of pepper.
Yeah.
But, you can just put a couple of turns if that's all you really want. That. And then I have to taste it. All right, I did it in salted water. Right. So it's going to have some saltiness to it. But it's unclear if that's going to be enough. So you're going to have to taste. Taste. Hey, there.
Obviously, it was pretty close.
It was pretty close. If you put enough salt in the water, it'll be pretty good. So here we have it. Here we have them. They look just perfect, right? And we'll let Donna give them a taste. There you go. All right. So that's pretty much it. And what do you think?
Well, I really like this. You do have that garlic and butter potato, but there's a little bit of bite from the daikon that is just
it's a radish.
Gives it a little bit of hardness.
It's not a killer radish like the little red things, but it's an Asian radish, and so it's got a little bit of that radish kind of a back taste
taste
to
to
it.
it. Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, that's what I did with my leftover daikon. Made it with some potatoes, made a nice little mash. And here you have it. It's both a potato and a veggie in one pot. We will see you next time.